Hindsight Sports Talk. We got Micah from the East Coast and Geoff from the left. And we are two brothers talking sports from behind the mic. So let's get it popping.
Listen, all right, before we get into today's show, just want to give you some YouTube reminders, everybody. Hit that like button and make sure you subscribe so that you'll be notified when we go live and when videos come out. Just so you know,
Thank you.
Today's show is actually pre-recorded. We will be doing live videos, but today is pre-recorded for YouTube reasons. Also, we want to hear from you. So this is a new show, but we love audience participation. We want to hear from you. Drop your comments in the comment section or in the chat because we do read them. And also, you can also email us if you have questions at hindsightsportstalk@gmail.com. Now, let's get into our current events.
Current events, baby.
All right. So, Geoff, NBA Finals, man, just wrapped up.
Yes.
Warriors and the Celtics.
I had to contain my excitement because, I had a whole bunch of people. I live in enemy territory. So I had a whole bunch of people texting me throughout the week talking about how bad the Warriors were.
All right. So
let's get this after game one.
Let's get this out the way at the beginning. So Geoff is from California.
Yes,
I am from Massachusetts. So we got an East Coast, West Coast thing going on right now. But we have
very good friends.
Close friends for over 2 decades. And we've basically grown up in adulthood together here in Massachusetts. But anyways, getting back to the NBA Finals, Warriors versus Celtics. Who would have known that the Celtics, period, would have made it this far?
They were a surprise entry. And actually, here's the thing. I know that there was a lot of talk about both teams being good this year. But I don't think anyone thought that either team before the season started, I'm not talking about after the first 20 games, but before the season started, I don't think most people thought that the Celtics or the Warriors would be in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, I agree with that. So maybe you can comment on the Warriors, but in terms of the Celtics perspective, no one thought that the Celtics were going to be in the NBA Finals at the All-Star break. Halfway through the season,
right.
there's not one person other than maybe Marcus Smart, who was yelling at Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown at the time, that predicted that the Celtics would actually end up in the NBA Finals.
So here's a quick question: did you think that they had a come to Jesus moment when Marcus Smart was I think it's weird because all these events meld together. But Marcus Smart was basically saying, I don't know what's going on with these guys. Like, people don't understand how to play ball with each other.
Well, one of the things that Marcus Smart brought up, which I thought was interesting, was that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum needed to pass more. And you can say what you want about how you feel like the guys feel about him, but the reality is that Marcus Smart, I think, had an effect on them. And they actually, Jason Tatum's numbers specifically, his assist numbers went up after that conversation. And there was supposedly a come to Jesus meeting after the All-Star break.
From what I'm talking about.
Let me see if I can find
because their record going into the All-Star break was not that good. I mean, I think they were only slightly above 500.
Yeah, it was.
And so, I think there was a lot of problems on the team. There was a lot of chemistry issues. But once they figured out, okay, this is how we're going to roll. It started to click. And, I've read multiple articles that mentioned basically their defense went very much higher because of Ime Udoka, the coach, and him, basically getting the ear of the entire team to say, look, we need to hang our hat on defense before we do anything else. And to me, that's they rode their defense to success, right?
Yeah.
Tatum becoming a superstar is a part of that. And we'll get into it later about outlandish takes regarding his superstardom, but he is the superstar of the Celtics. Like, let's get it straight. He is the best player on that team.
Right. Right. Yeah, well, that's true. I want to I found the article, or a
Okay.
article, I should say, about that turning point for the Celtics.
All
It's
right.
from celticsblog.com, and it says how players
Oh,
only
there it
meeting
is.
key Celtics turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
And so it says that the Celtics met in the aftermath of the infamous collapse against the Chicago Bulls. I remember that in
Mm.
November before leaving for a Florida road trip. Ime Udoka had originally planned for a team dinner that became a players only meeting before the coaches arrived. Many of the details remain undisclosed, aside from ESPN's Adrian Baum. What is it? Wojbaum?
Woj.
Jarowski's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
ominously declared it not terribly productive, maybe not even beneficial. ESPN's Zach Lowe soon quipped that Boston must lead the league in players-only meetings, and he wouldn't be far off. What looked like a crisis moment for the Celtics early became a formula for their success. A winter COVID surge that initially undermined Boston would lead to productive one-on-one meetings between players and coaches. The Celtics became the meeting team for good and bad. It played into Udoka's priorities: individual leadership, collective accountability among players, and no holds barred honesty. Film sessions, timeouts, and monthly meetings all became places to air everything out.
Mm.
One thing I've done this year is had monthly player meetings, Udoka said at practice on Wednesday. It's not always a negative connotation with it. If we're going to do something well, we show them the numbers, where we're at over the last month or so. I give them 15 minutes to talk amongst themselves. Then I'll walk back in. And then, what do you guys got for me? We've had quite a few of those. And I think it encourages leadership and those guys being communicative. We show them where we're at. These are the things that we can improve on. And what do you guys think? What can we improve on as coaches? Interesting.
All
Um,
right. I like it. I like it.
it says
So
this. Yep, go ahead.
aren't these? But I mean, again, aren't these basic management principles? I mean,
Yes.
you're telling me this isn't happening. You know, because my
Well,
question is, well, why isn't this happening for every basketball team?
well,
You telling me they ain't all doing this?
this is this is simple, basically employer employee
Yeah,
management.
relations.
This is
This
what
is
you do at your
HR,
job.
man.
What you do at your job, what millions of Americans do at their jobs, have meetings with players. The problem is that the NBA has become a diva league.
Yeah, well,
So,
you know
you
that's
know,
part of the
they
problem,
they don't always want to be told what to do by coaches.
right?
You know, they're on board with the coaches as long as the coaches are on board with them.
Well, and as long as they're familiar with the coach, they're friends with the coach, like
Yeah,
there's we've gotten to the point now, and I mean, I think this part is a good thing where you
yeah,
need to have a coach that you're familiar with and that you have camaraderie with, who
yeah,
says,
sure.
okay, when he says something, you believe what he says because he's got the experience to back it up.
Yeah, sure. I mean, and look at Udoka. He may not have been an NBA player, and I know he played
But
in other
he's from a
places,
great organization.
but he's from the Spurs. He worked with Pop, so he gets it. It says the structure reflects Udoka's timeouts and half times, which center on the players first, while coaches stand off to the side and discuss their own adjustments. When Brooklyn went on a 12-5 run to start Game 3 with Bruce Brown breaking free in the short roll, Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart led a spirited discussion before Udoka entered the huddle. The team ran a high screen for Al Horford that he broke to the top of the arc, forcing Kevin Durant to hesitate and giving Jason Tatum room to hit a three. Udoka and the Celtics ranked third in ATO plays this season, scoring 1.16 points per possession, showing his blend of X's and O's working hand in hand with his player management style. So there he is. He's a player coach, basically. But he holds them responsible.
Mhm.
And we're just going to skip down to the bottom here where it says uh, meetings also allowed Udoka to get back to himself after doubting his own techniques early, as the Athletic documented. Celtics assistant coaches saw Udoka get his edge back in a film session following the team's disappointing loss, first West Coast road trip. It was a don't hold back session on everyone. Udoka said. It was everything from getting punked to transition defense to terrible offense. We were in there forever. Players soon took notice and embraced the accountability. Brown worked overtime and film sessions afterwards, fixating on reducing his turnovers, which didn't help in the finals, and embracing his new role as a playmaker. The team had, and that was what Marcus Smart was talking about. That's what he yelled at them for. Remember?
Yeah. But
That was it.
but here's the thing. There are certain flaws that can't be fixed from a meeting.
Oh yeah.
Right. So like this is where it's like some people will question, well, how far have the Celtics come just based on talent and based on organization?
Right.
And have they reached the limit of either of those? So
Well,
see,
let's address that. Let me
you know
finish
what I'm
this last
saying?
sentence, and then we're done with this. It
Yeah.
says the team had less time on court as a group, so Udoka leaned into a more personal time with each player. Slowly, all of these sessions and results that followed forged into trust. So from those meetings and accountability came trust,
Yeah.
and that's why the Celtics ended up making it to the finals.
Well, and you need
Originally.
here's the thing: you do need trust
Yeah.
between coach and player in order for the player to be coached,
Oh
right? And
yeah.
I mean, I think there's a clear contrast from the Celtics to the
Yep.
Lakers, who again I am a huge fan of, but
Yep.
you know, clear difference between Celtics and the Lakers because Russell Westbrook did not have trust
Yep.
from Frank Vogel,
Russell
and
couldn't shoot.
which is again leads to the other part of my question, which is yes, organization and trust and relationship between coach and player matters, but that can only go so far if the talent doesn't reach there either.
What did you
And
feel like every time Russell Westbrook was going to go shoot?
oh my God.
That's what I would have been doing every time. It's like Russell Westbrook, he drives down, he's about to.
Oh my God. All right, so here's the thing. I wasn't
Yeah.
actually thinking that. You want to know what I was thinking? I was
Yep.
thinking,
Stop it. Get some help.
that's
And
all
he
I'm
really
saying. Like,
and he
just
really
get some
needed to.
help, bro.
Like, my question is, the Lakers had enough talent
Mhm.
where had they swung the ball, they could have scored way more points. But they had so many players that just wanted to kind of be in their own bubble. It was kind of, I don't know. It's like a bunch of one-on-one players playing team ball in
It-
some ways.
and this part is true, but so here's my thing. Even with Russell Westbrook, he doesn't have to be a great shooter. He
Mhm.
just doesn't need to be a terrible one. And to me, the difference between a terrible one and just an okay shooter is that the okay shooter in the NBA
Yeah.
has spots that they can shoot from with reliability
Yeah.
now. And
Go to your spot.
go to your
Go to your
spot,
spot.
shoot, and then be good. You know
One
what I'm
of the
saying?
best
Get to your
players to
spot.
ever one of the best players to ever do it is Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
He always knew that his spot was the elbow. He would make that like 99 out of 100 times, and he always went there. The playoff game with the Raptors where he beat them in at the buzzer beater to win. I think it was like game 3. He got to the elbow. He said it. He got to his
Yeah.
spot, and he made it.
Yeah. And I mean, look, Kobe had the same thing. And, to me, the thing about the all time greats
Yep.
is that those spots are all over the floor. See, like to
Right.
me, the
Right.
reason, and this is the reason why I say, we'll get into it later. Why Steph Curry is so great and so awesome is he's got spots
Right.
all over the floor,
Right.
and that's what all time greats do.
Yeah, that's true.
The regular the okay NBA player has a few spots on the
Right.
floor. The great or the all-star player has more spots on the floor. The all-time greats have spots all over the floor. And they have multiple strategies on how to get to their spot. So my thing with Russell Westbrook, dude, can you name one shot that he actually has?
I can't. I mean, the only thing I remember
I
him
mean, he
being
could
known
dunk. I know that much.
the only thing I remember him being known for was his aggressive movements to the hoop. Like he was willing back in the day to dunk on anyone, and it didn't matter how big you were.
Right.
Didn't matter what he did to himself. Like in fact, Kobe had mentioned it when he was still playing.
He's fearless.
Yeah, he had that kind of like fearless bone in his body. But y'all, we have questions about this NBA Finals. All right.
It was a good one.
So here's the first question.
Here we go.
What was up with Tatum in the finals, man?
Just giving up the ball. So I had to hit rewind multiple times because
Okay.
I was looking at his motion, and multiple people pointed this out. But like he was trying to do to James Harden, where he's got the ball lower than his waist, and he's bringing it in, this reverse rainbow fashion of just like going under and bringing it up. And as he's bringing it up, it gets swatted away. And here's the thing: everybody is looking for the swat because they know it's the playoffs and they're not going to get called for the foul.
Man,
But
listen.
here's my thing. To me, the bigger question is, why was Tatum looking for the foul in the first place?
That's a good question.
Because he got big headed and the superstardom went to his head.
Wow.
Possible.
Because
Is that a peek behind the curtain? I don't know, because I'm a Warriors fan. So take it with a grain of salt.
Well, Well, here's the other thing, is that Tatum, I don't know. I don't know if he switched from, because the thing about Tatum is that he has, like, during the Bucks playoff series, the reason why he really found his groove, the reason why he was scoring 50 points was because he was passing the ball.
Yeah.
Like, his assists were way up during the Bucks series. And we're talking about a team, the Bucks, that was like 2 times more physical than the Warriors.
Yeah, but he expected that physicality.
But he also moved the ball. So my point is that by him moving the ball, he was creating open shots for other people, which is also coincidentally how the Celtics won and blew them out in the second game of the NBA Finals, was because they were moving the ball. Other people were getting involved, but like turnovers, man. I don't know what it is with
You mean
Tatum.
game 1 or game 3? Because game 2 they got blown out.
Celtics won game. Which one did they? It was game 3 that they blew them out.
So they
by like
won
25 points.
Yeah, so they won game 1 and game 3. Game 2
Right.
they were blown out by the Warriors.
And then they came back and blew them out. But it was a whole team effort.
Right.
And so, but my point is that like Tatum was like turning over the ball like a madman in this series. Like I'd never seen anything like it from him for his entire short career that he's had. He's only 24. I get it, but do you think his turnovers?
He had over 100. He actually made a record of the most turnovers in the playoffs by any player. Period.
It's over
100, man. It's over 100.
We have memes. About this. So I don't know what was up with Tatum. I suspect that the moment was bigger than he thought. He was in the finals. I don't think that he'll make the same errors if they get back to the finals again. I think that this was one of those. I'm in the finals. It's my first time, and I have the world on my shoulders. I'm doing, and I need to do too much. I need to be Michael Jordan. I need to be Kobe Bryant. And I think it was I think he got caught up in the hype of everything he was supposed to do and forgot how he was playing throughout the year that actually made him look better and the team better.
No, I agree with you on all that, but I also only think that was a factor and not the whole reason as to why the Celtics lost or why the Warriors won, which kind of brings me to my next question, which is, was it the Warriors defense or the Celtics fatigue? And what I mean by that is, again, a lot of people say that the Warriors, the myth is that they're a finesse team, that they don't play D, and that it's all about the offense. And yet, when you look at this series, what came out was the fact that they held the Celtics below 100 points multiple times in the series. And on top of that, many people were, low percentage for shooting throughout the series. They were held down, especially when you look even with Steph Curry. When he was guarding somebody, they were only 3 for 12. Like, which again, like the dude was clearly playing defense.
Well, Jordan Poole did an excellent job on Jaylen Brown. I mean, excellent.
You think? Okay. Well, now I'll put this though. I think Andrew Wiggins did a better job on Tatum than Poole did on Jaylen Brown.
Yes,
Jaylen Brown exploded for 34 points.
Jaylen Brown scored 34 points in the last game.
Yeah,
but he's also capable of scoring 45. So on
a regular basis, come on.
No, in the finals playoffs, absolutely. But on a regular basis, I'm not talking about every day.
About that.
I'm talking about Jaylen Brown can score the ball, and that's the point. but it seemed like everyone stepped up. I mean, I also think that
In
there
the
was
finals?
on the
Who are you
Warriors
talking about?
on the
Okay.
Warriors.
Okay.
I think the team started playing team defense, and that's what you need to do when you're actually playing a team like the Celtics. But another thing that this doesn't actually address, which I think was more of an issue, was rebounding. I think the Warriors did a much better job rebounding. They also did a much better job in transition as well. The Celtics weren't getting back. The Celtics were getting stuck. They were complaining to the refs. Celtics have a bit of a complaining problem when it comes to the refs. Like everyone. Like I know that everyone does it in the NBA, but the Celtics really do it. Like really do it.
Really?
You know,
Like, I don't know, because I think Harden
Tatum's
complains a
on the
lot.
floor going like this, and then the whole team has run down to the other end of the floor. It's like, dude, stop brushing your hair and get down and play some defense on the other end of the floor.
Sometimes I feel like we need to hand out brushes and combs because like they're more worried about the hairstyle and talking to the refs than actually getting back on defense. And so I saw multiple times in these games where it was either Marcus Smart. Now, here's the other thing. Yes, he was the defensive player of the year. But I got to say, man, the amount of flops that I saw from this dude in the finals, it was a bit much. I was like,
Stop it. Get some help.
Man, he is the defensive player of the year. You can't take that away from him. So I know you're a Warriors fan, but you got to stop it.
I'm just saying, man.
Yes,
there's
he
a
does,
lot of flops coming from homeboy.
Yes, he does flop. Yeah, well, that's a part of his.
It's a part of the game. Like
part of his game.
There is a distinct advantage to flopping. The only reason players do it is because it's an advantage.
That's right.
And so exactly. I get that.
Well, and here's the thing,
but I still don't like it.
If you're playing against it, you hate it.
Right.
But if he's on your team, you love it. Like
no.
Okay. Like as an example,
the Warriors flop too. I saw flops from the Warriors.
Oh, of course they do. Draymond Green, he is the king of flops.
I saw Draymond do it. I saw Steph do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So totally. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying that the percentage of how much Marcus Smart does it is way more than most people. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. Somebody else who used to do flopping a lot.
Dennis Rodman.
No, I was gonna say Derek Fisher. So he did it a bunch too. Yeah. Right in his series, and like
not as
I don't
much
know,
as like
I don't know
Rodman
if it's the act
and Smart though.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's the act of like we call it flopping, but it's the act of taking. To me, it's the specific act of taking a charge, right? So taking a charge does take skill and effort and strength, right? You can't it's hard to take a charge from a dude who's 250 plus.
I don't see taking a charge as a flop. I consider a flop. I consider a flop an exaggerated physical expression of something that it is greater than the initial contact. So,
but what I'm saying
opinion,
is a charge is an actual call by the refs. A flop is just an action.
Right. So, right. And so, but we're talking about flops. So my point is that when one of the players does that, have the ball, and they like do that swing, that low swing to switch sides with the ball, and someone hits their wrist, and the next thing you know, they look like a starfish that came out of the water, right? And they're all flying around like that to get the shot. That to me is a flop. Another example of a flop is the head fake, the miss block, and then the lunge. Pierce used to do this all the time. They were supposed to legislate that actually out of the NBA this year,
but they didn't.
Of course. That to me is a flop as well. Pierce made a career on that though, but he also made a career on actually hitting those shots and not just
and playing through it. So here's the thing. All I'm saying is, I saw this with Tatum. I saw this with Jaylen Brown. Is they were expecting the calls instead of playing through the calls.
Exactly.
And all I'm saying is that sometimes is linked to fatigue because you could see
I disagree.
How tired they were.
Fatigue is an excuse.
I think it's real. Look, they have never been this far.
I'll give you credit on one person that was fatigued, Al Horford. And that's because he's 36. And
no.
He was the only one actually playing through the actual the contact and everything else. And Robert
but
Williams
Robert
was
Williams,
hurt.
Robert
bro.
Williams
Well,
was
he was
injured
hurt.
and he's playing through it.
Right. So I don't consider that fatigue.
To me,
he's just injured.
No, that's fatigue, man. What are you talking about? Like
You're not tired.
Healthier,
you're injured.
No, you get tired quicker because you're injured.
No. What?
What you're telling me you're not tired? Look, okay. Someone who has an injury gets tired quicker than a healthy person.
Depends on what the injury is.
Right. It's a knee injury.
Not
That's what I'm trying to tell you. He's running up and down the court. He's jumping up and high.
No, it may not be a conditioning issue. It's probably a pain tolerance issue that has less to do with fatigue.
It's both.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, look,
not necessarily.
All I'm saying is it's both because they've never been to this point. I mean, what is he, a rookie?
All right, so your vote is that it was Celtics fatigue. I say it was more than Warriors defense that kicked in. But we have more questions. What do the Celtics need
We'll keep it going.
Win the finals? What do they need? They need a point guard. Point guard. Can we get a point guard?
That underlined?
Yes, right. Can we get a point guard, please? The 18,624 strong are asking for a point guard. Is that too much to ask for, Jeff?
It's really unfortunate because, I know that all Celtics fans feel like this right now.
It's true.
It's
that's what Monday was like.
It's a rough time when you don't get to see the ball distributed correctly and plays run. And
when you have a point guard like Marcus Smart and he's going down the court and he's about to shoot a three, and you're like,
"Oh God, no, God, please, no!"
But he calls for isolation. And,
everyone in the building, Marcus Smart.
Don't shoot the ball.
Ball comes into Al Horford, top of the key. Swings to Jaylen Brown. Kicks it over to Marcus Smart for an open three.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
That's everyone in the building. Just take the foul. Please, just take the foul.
What are you doing, man? What are you doing?
All right. So to win the finals, the Celtics they don't need much. Okay. They need a point guard that can actually score. Someone like Drew Holiday, in my opinion. I do like point guards that are a little more sturdy, like Kyle Lowry, like Drew Holiday. Like those kind of types of point guards actually would work really well on the Celtics. But the Celtics need someone who can distribute the ball and sees the floor like a Rondo or Alonzo Ball. Someone who can analyze the spacing in the floor, can set up the play, and distribute the ball to a person in the key position to shoot the ball.
So I think to go with that is, not just that you need a point guard, but you need to learn the plays, especially for end of game situations. Because again, the fourth quarter was horrendous for these guys. Not just in the finals, like the entire postseason, the fourth quarter was rough, and because it just seemed like they ended up going to hero ball or to creating their own shot and not actually running a system or plays towards the end of the game. And to me, that can be improved because keep in mind, like, we're going to talk about this later, but Ime Udoka deserves a ton of praise because this is the dude's first year. Yeah. So what we think that the second year, they're not like, to me, the expectation is that they will learn more plays, that they will learn the system more and be more familiar with it so that they can execute at the end.
100%.
So to me, like part of this is experience, man. Like I think it was, for the team to be this young and to get this far so fast, I fully expect, and I'm not even a Celtics fan, but I fully expect for these guys to get to the finals next year.
Oh yeah, 100%. They to me, when they have good distribution of the ball, they should be the number one defensive team in the league, right? So beyond that, when they distribute the ball, they're hard to beat because they can they had been scoring, especially with Milwaukee. They had more than one guy scoring. They had Derek White scoring. They had Al Horford scoring. They had Jason Tatum scoring. They had Jaylen Brown scoring. They had Grant Williams scoring. It's hard to
Across the
beat.
board.
It's hard to beat Marcus Smart scoring, driving and hitting threes. Like, it's hard to beat the Celtics when they're playing like that. However, in 2008, when that Celtics team won the championship, and Rondo was the point guard, and he had Garnett, he had Pierce, he had Ray Allen, he did a masterful job getting their 7 or 8 scores that they had on the team, because no one talks about James Posey. No one talks about Eddie House, but those guys could score too.
Yeah.
In fact, that team even has Sam Cassell, if you remember. Like, that team could actually score. It was missing a distributor who knew where they were supposed to be at all times and could get them the ball when they needed it. But you remember what the rap was on Rondo, right? Why the veterans liked the rookie Rondo in that season, I think he was a sophomore. Do you remember? You remember why?
Go ahead.
Because they said that he had the ability to put the ball exactly where they needed it to get into their shots, like either in stride or he could set them up to actually play. So
that tells you all you need to know, man, right there. Yeah.
Is Golden State officially a dynasty? I'll let you answer this.
I think that they are. 4 and 8 years, 6 out of 8 actually being in the finals. Like, to me, a dynasty should be more than just winning a finals. I think just getting there should also, have credit for that. So to me, I do think that Golden State is an official dynasty. I think it's, especially because it's 4. Like, if it was still 3, I'd say no, it's not a dynasty. Especially because it wasn't 3 in a row, right? So, like, to me,
I think 3 and 4 years makes you a dynasty, though. Like the Patriots,
3 and 3 years,
3 and 4 years makes you a
3
dynasty.
and 4,
yeah, yeah. Because remember, the Patriots had won 2 in a row. They missed the third, and then they came back the fourth. So to me, that is
football. You're talking
right.
Football. Like, to me, it's a different sport. Like, it's different.
It's still the champion. We're talking about championships, though.
I know, but
in my opinion, 3 out of 4, 75% win rate in 4 years, I disagree on that. Here's the thing: for a NBA sports league that is a 7-game series, right? So that's why, to me, it's harder to win a 7-game series than it is to win just 1 game. In that respect, and so in that,
I think you're confusing probability with with the effort it takes to get there. So it's for me, what I'm saying is it's highly unlikely for a football team to win 4 years in a row, because anybody can win on any given Sunday. Like, that's the whole point of it, right? It's like, once you get to that final Super Bowl, the Patriots easily could have won that game where they went 16-0.
Right, but you still have to win.
And like, it was like 2 freak plays by the Giants that all of a sudden they didn't have.
Come on. You still have to win 12 games in a professional sports league where the other guy gets paid too in the NBA. So I'm not saying that the NFL isn't harder in some respects. Well, my point is,
people. Well, of course, it's harder.
But my point is that winning 3 out of 4 years, regardless of how many you do it, still makes you a dynasty even in the NBA, because you every single year, in order to get there, you still have to win 12 games in the playoffs to get there against another team that has players that are professional as well. Like, to me, that is the great equalizer.
I don't know. It's been done so many times. Like I said,
how many times has it been done in the NBA?
Yeah, at least 5 times.
How many teams? How many teams?
3 and 4 years.
How many different teams have won 3 out of 4 years?
Yeah, at least 5 teams.
How many teams have done it?
I said at least 5.
What teams?
Off the top of my head, you already got the
Bulls
Lakers twice, the Lakers twice, the Bulls twice,
the Celtics.
You know what I'm saying? The Celtics 3 times, 3 or 4 times.
That's 3. What's the other 2?
What do you mean the other 2?
You said at least 5 teams.
No, I said it's been done at least 5 times or more.
Okay. All right. Here we go now.
I mean, again, there's multiple
here we
teams.
go.
No.
Here we go with
Hold
the,
on.
here we go with the changing.
Hold on, bro.
Here we go with the changing. You
I
said
didn't change
5.
nothing.
Okay. So 3 teams out of the 32 teams that are in the league have done it. And whether they were multiple years, they still had the same owners. And the Celtics.
And the Warriors, man. And the Warriors.
And in the Celtics case,
the Warriors.
they still had Red Auerbach. They had multiple coaches, though. Hall of Fame coaches, Hall of Fame people around, just like the Lakers. Those teams were no team in the NBA has ever done it like the Celtics or the Lakers to this point, 2022, period. Right? That's a fact.
The Warriors.
The Warriors have not done it to the extent that the Celtics and Lakers have.
Okay, come on, dude.
No.
Again, I just said 3. You made the criteria.
I did.
4 years attending.
I said 3 out of 4 years makes you a dynasty.
Right.
You say it doesn't.
So multiple and what I'm saying is it's too common if you do 3 out of 4 because multiple Lakers teams fit that category.
Okay.
Multiple Celtics teams fit that category.
And what other teams?
I've already mentioned the Sixers, the Warriors.
When have the Sixers done it 3 out of? When have the Sixers done it 3 out of 4 years?
I don't know,
years?
Man.
Exactly. What are you talking about?
No. See, look.
Stop it. Get some help.
Just get some help. Look, all I'm saying is that it's happened too often. I disagree with you specifically on 3 out of 4 making you a dynasty.
I'm saying that it's not commonplace. That's the point.
The reason why I think you need to define what common is.
The reason why I think that 3 out of 4 teams 3 out of 4 championship makes you a dynasty is because it's not commonplace. It's not frequently that this happens.
You need to define common.
Common is defined as something that occurs on a regular interval, on a regular basis.
Okay, so every decade, is that common?
No, it's not. Are you asking me if every 10 years is common?
Every 10 years.
Maybe for a solar eclipse.
No, hold on. Every 10 years, there's a team that goes to 4 finals and wins 3 of them.
Do we have evidence of that?
Can we just walk through the decades?
Yeah, let's walk through the decades. Let's do it. You got basketball reference up. Let's go, baby.
Okay. So we already got the Warriors.
Yep.
Okay.
They're the 2010s.
The 2000s. We've got Miami.
How many did they've won 3 out of 4?
They won 2 out of 3.
I said
LeBron James.
No.
Made 3 out of 4.
Changing the narrative already. I said 3 out of 4.
Fine. Leave it out of that decade. Fine. Leave out that decade.
Okay, so now
you got the 2000s.
We went from every decade.
So you got the 2000s.
Now we're going 20 years.
It's fine. You got the 2000s. So that's the Lakers.
Did it happen in the 2000s?
Yes, the Lakers.
Okay.
Then you got the 90s.
Yes.
The Bulls.
Yes.
So that's 3.
Yes.
Okay, then you got the 80s.
And?
That's the Lakers.
Yes.
And the Celtics.
Yes.
So what are we talking about here?
The 3 freaking teams here. The 3 teams that we just talked about like 2 seconds ago.
I just named 5 teams, bro.
Dude. The 3 teams that we've been talking about for the last
I just named
15
5
minutes.
Teams. I just named 5 teams. And you know what? I'm sorry. The Spurs.
How many teams?
The Spurs, 2010s.
Yes. No, not 10s. They were one of the Spurs championships in the late 90s, right?
No, the Spurs did not win in the 90s. Calm down.
When did they win?
See, you're getting it twisted.
Come on.
This is the problem.
Come on.
Let's pull up the teams.
Pull it up, man.
San Antonio Spurs.
When are the championships? You got to bring the evidence here.
Here we go.
You're saying all their championships were in the 2000s?
No, I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying they had championships in the 2000s. So again, 2000, 2006,
Okay.
2004, 2003, 2013.
And didn't they call the Spurs a dynasty?
Yes.
Exactly my point.
Right.
3 out of 4
It counts.
makes you a dynasty. Is my point.
No, they're a dynasty because they won 5 championships over the course of
They will call them a
15
dynasty after
years.
they won the third one in 4 years.
No. They were called a dynasty after they won the championship.
They
in
were called a
2013.
dynasty after they won
2013, bro.
after they won the third one in 4 years. They were called the dynasty.
They didn't. It wasn't 3 and 4. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
2000. You said 2003, 2004, and 2006. They won, right?
Yeah,
That's 3
not
and
in
4
4 years. I'm looking at it. It's 3. That's
2003,
3
2004.
They lost in 2003. They lost in 2005.
You just said 2003 they won.
2002 to 2003.
Oh, see, you didn't say that. You said 2003.
Because I'm thinking I'm looking you at the same thing that you are.
No, I'm not. You know I'm not looking at it right here.
Basketball reference.
Man.
.com/teams/
Stop it. Get some help.
Now you're changing it up.
Notes. Just because I got the notes doesn't mean you can't click on the same thing.
So why did they call them a dynasty? Because it wasn't 3 and 4 years.
Let me just.
That's my point.
Let me just add this to the private.
You continue to make my point.
Here's the link.
You continue to make my point. They didn't do it in 3 or 4 years, so they're not a dynasty. How many teams?
Other people call them dynasties, but fine.
I'll go back. Listen,
even if you
I'll
go
back
to no.
I'll go back to my point because I know y'all don't hear too well on the West Coast. How many teams have done it?
You're tripping, bro. You're tripping.
How many? I don't hear so good. How many teams have won 3 out of 4 years?
I'm trying to tell you. I already said it, man.
Yeah. You
can't
count the Spurs. The Spurs are not in there.
I said the Warriors.
Yes.
Okay.
The Celtics and the Lakers.
And then I said nope. And then I said the Lakers. And then I said the Bulls.
Yes.
And then I said the Celtics.
And every one of those teams were called dynasties. Yes. All of them.
And they all won. It's every decade.
Every
single decade. Every single decade. It's
common. The original point was that winning 3 championships in 4 years makes you that was my point. And you disagree with that.
And I disagree because you said that it's not common. I asked
to me that's not common. It's not common to me.
Dude, every decade is common.
Every 10 years is common to you? Okay,
yes.
Right. Well, how about I give you $1,000 every 10 years?
Awesome.
I know what you're gonna do with that.
I will take it.
That will be over the first week.
I will take it and I will spend it.
But the meat of my point was, you are a dynasty if you've won 3 out of 4 years. You said no. I said yes. You lost. Next question.
No. See, that's what you call selective editing.
Oh,
so
please.
Let's get back.
Listen, the people watching this can comment below in the comment section who you think. Listen, I want the people watching this. No, I want the people watching this to comment in the comment section. I want the people in the comment and watching this to comment in the comment section.
Yeah.
Does winning a championship 3 out of 4 years make your team a dynasty?
Okay, but that's the question.
The question was the question.
No,
that was the whole question.
Is Golden State officially a dynasty?
Yes.
My answer is
3 out of 4 years.
No, it's yes because of 4 out of 6, man.
Next question. Why so many Steph haters? Oh, this is your question. You can.
This is my question.
Yeah.
So here's the point. Right? A lot of people, for some reason, don't like Steph Curry. They say that he's not as good as many other top players within the NBA. And when I say top players within the NBA, I'm talking about the people who have won the MVPs over the last 10 years, right? So Kevin Durant, Harden, Russell Westbrook, right? Now here's my thing. Is anybody confused about whether Steph Curry is better than James Harden? Is anyone confused about whether Steph Curry is better than Russell Westbrook? Is anybody confused about whether Steph Curry is better than Chris Paul. Because at my point is from today, there should be nobody who's allowed to say that based on his accomplishments and what he has done to change the game. Now, the second part of the question is, does the MVP push him past Durant? I would say it does, because once again, we have on record that this dude was the best player on the best team that won the championship. And has Durant done that? Yes. Has he done that without Steph Curry? Hell to the no.
Has he done that without anyone that was a superstar status like him?
Again, Russell Westbrook was a superstar. I have no problem saying that.
But my point is that has Durant done it with anyone that's a superstar?
At one point in his career, Russell Westbrook was a superstar.
Did Kevin Durant win an NBA championship without another superstar on the team?
No.
All right. Well, there you go.
So all I'm saying is, does the MVP push him past Durant? Yes. But because of his accomplishments now. I don't think he was past Durant before, but I do think he's past him now.
I also think that Kevin Durant has not won a championship without another superstar. That's what I think.
Yeah,
and I think that that speaks volumes to some degree.
So I know that I put Durant's name in here, but to me, what's egregious is when they say that people like Russell Westbrook or Chris Paul are better than Steph Curry. To me, that's just ridiculous. I don't even why we talking about this.
If you think that the collective you out there or whatever, that Chris Paul or Russell Westbrook is better than Steph Curry.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Then Russell Westbrook don't even agree with you. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
He wants to know what you're talking about.
I think that this was an easy question, but it does lead us to the next point, which I think is a little bit more nuanced.
Yep.
Which is, should Durant have left the Warriors?
Okay, can we go back? Can we figure out the reason? Why did he leave? Did he ever give a clear explanation of why he left? I feel like he didn't. I feel like it was all kind of muddled.
There is a quote. Let me see if I can find it.
Okay. And this is coming from Durant. Like, did he actually say?
No,
the reason
he actually said.
And he put it out there. Meanwhile, he's trying to recruit Kyrie, who teams are trading around, who's on his third team now, to the Nets, who I've never seen a more individual talent that has been such a journeyman like Kyrie now. It's like, when you're on your third team, are you officially a journeyman?
I mean,
I think so, right? Him and Harden.
Maybe. So the actual quote, right? And I mean, he said this to ESPN June 1st of 2022.
All right, show us.
Can I?
Yep.
Now I forgive. I ask for everyone's forgiveness because this is my first time doing this on a live show.
And nobody can just put it up on the screen. Yeah, we heard it before.
All right.
Put it on the screen.
Let's see.
We're waiting.
Yeah. Hold on. All right. So here we go. Here's the quote. All right, sportscasting.com. Durant said this in an ESPN article, 2019. I felt like it was time for a change. I wanted to play for a new team. And simply put, I just did it. I didn't really think about what I was leaving behind or what we accomplished. I put that up on a shelf already. When it was time to make a decision on my future, I just thought solely about me. So here's the thing. Right? So
yeah, right.
But I think
I agree with the second part.
But there's still stuff.
It's not solely about me.
But I think there's still stuff to unpack here that do talk about his intentions, which is I put that up on a shelf already. He he is okay with the accomplishments that he did at Golden State. He didn't want to get any more championships at Golden State. Now, people, hey, he turned it down. Now, all I'm saying is, I want you to give your take first, because my take is that should he have left? Yes, if he wants to get more recognition for himself. He was never going to get more recognition for himself. And this is why he says, I just thought solely about me. He was never going to get more recognition for himself if he stayed on that Warriors team. He would always be the guy who was added to a 73-win team. It was never going to be anything else. The narrative was always going to be that, because even while Kevin Durant was with the Golden State Warriors, the team belonged to Steph Curry. Now, he is on a team on the Brooklyn Nets. He is the man on that team. Nobody can say anything else. He is the best player on that team, and he every decision, they can say that it doesn't, but I believe that every decision that's made organizationally still goes through him, just like it does for the Lakers in LeBron James.
All right, scroll down a little bit so I can see just a tad, just because it's being blocked by the question. Stop there. All right. He says, as time went on, I started to realize I'm just different from the rest of the guys. He said, it's not a bad thing, just my circumstances and how I came in the league. And on top of that, the media always looked at it like KD and the Warriors. So it's like nobody could get a full acceptance of me there. Yeah. So
I just said.
His biggest issue was that, I agree, it was Steph's team. And he wanted it to be KD's team. But I think more than that, I think there's something that's not being said here, which is that KD has been very conspicuously focused on his post-career business plans, especially in the last couple of years. And if this is the mountaintop of ability and effectiveness in the NBA, KD has just gone over the edge of the top of that. He's still really high, but he's over the edge of the top of that. So, in my opinion, there are just a few places that you can go in the country that will help propel your brand to like another level. You can go to LA, you can go to Miami, you can go to New York. These are places that you can go that when you do business, you can do business on a higher level and attract, a lot of other people to come and do business with you. I think that his choice to go to Brooklyn was strategic because it's New York. I think that when he went there, yes, he would be the man. Yes, he could attract other people because he is KD after all, and he still has a lot left in the tank. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that he's not the KD that he was, obviously 4 years ago. I think he would probably admit that, especially post Achilles surgery. But I do think this is a business move. I think this is more about business than championships. I don't think that he's the kind of guy, in my opinion, like Jordan, who wanted to win every single year a championship every single year that he was in the sense that Jordan was all this championship driven and focused, right? KD he got the championship, he got the rings, and kudos to him. The issue is that I think he's trying
to be the man.
I think he wants to be the man, and I think he wants to set up his business, and that is my opinion about where he's at. And I don't fault him for that, and I don't blame him for that, because you know what? I'm about getting the dollars too. So right. I think I think that if you're going to make these decisions, though, be
honest about it, though. You got to be honest about it.
Well, when he's saying stuff like, as time went on, I just started to realize I'm different from the rest of the guys. That statement to me means I'm focused on the future. And these guys aren't necessarily focused on the future.
Well, these guys.
That's how I read that.
These guys, i.e. the Warriors, were saying the future is now. You know what I'm saying? So and I understand that. I agree. I think that Durant should have left for himself, and he did. Yeah. Now, how it turned out,
I have no complaints.
How it turned out for him, that's another story. But as far as should he have left, absolutely, because that's what he wanted to do for himself.
If I had the business goals that he has, then yes, that's a decision I would have made. Because you know why? It's better for the KD brand to be the man. Should Yui I can't even say it. Should Yui Udoka have been coach of the year? This This is my coach.
Hold on.
I can't
I
even
know,
say his name.
but hold on. Commenters, please chime in on how we should say the first name of Coach Udoka.
Why don't you
Thank
give us a shot, Jeff? Come on.
Iwe.
I think it's Yui. Yui Udoka. Should he
No,
have been
I
coach
think
of the
it's
year?
Iwe. All right, so the first poll question to our listeners should be: do you think it's Iwe or Uwe?
And because this is pre-recorded, we can't give you Uwe or Iwe or Iwe. But Coach Udoka, should he have been the coach of the year? My answer to this is yes, because I believe that MVPs and coach of the years in the NBA should be like that of the NFL, which is that it's a post-season award, meaning that the season has finished and concluded. And after the season has finished and concluded, the entire body of work is judged.
I mean, I wish all awards were handed out at the end of the playoffs and not the end of the season.
Yeah.
So that's the only tidbit I would add to that. I think that this is a no-brainer question. He absolutely should be the coach of the year. I understand. Like, to me, I feel like the Phoenix Award. I feel like that was handed out because of what they previously accomplished from the finals the year before. And so it was like one of those consolation. It was turned into a consolation prize instead of the prize for this year. Which again, to me, this year, it's absolutely Iwe Udoka because he's a brand new coach. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? He was not a coach before this year. So the fact that he got the Celtics to the finals, that's coaching.
Right. All right. It's time for us to go kind of lightning round. It's time for a segment that we call Armchair GM. This is where Jeff and I will basically create trades, signing free agent prospects, and giving max deals out to people who will never get them because no one ever listens to us. But it's time for what we call Armchair GM.
Hell, it's a family motto. Are you ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Want to make sure you're ready, brother. Here it is. Show me the money.
All right, here we go.
Armchair GM, baby.
Armchair
Show
GM.
me the money.
We'll go on rapid fire.
All right, let's do it.
Would you trade Klay Thompson for Jaylen Brown?
No.
Me neither.
And for me, I'm representing the Warriors in that trade scenario. Mike is representing the Celtics, obviously.
Yeah, and I say heck no because Klay is older. He's way more injured, clearly prone to long-term serious injury. Jaylen Brown doesn't get hurt that much, although he has been hurt this year. He can explode. He has just as good a defense, if you ask me, and he drives much better than Klay. Jeff?
I would say Klay's defense has returned to the level that it was before, and can only get better. And his offense isn't there. And I think that he only has half a year under his belt. So we have not seen Klay at 100%. And the fact that they won a finals with Klay at not 100%, I'm definitely keeping him in order to keep that train going. He is integral to the Warriors. He's more valuable to the Warriors than inserting a new piece of Jaylen Brown.
It doesn't mean that Celtics fans, we wouldn't want to have him on our team, but maybe off the bench. Who should come back for the C's? Jeff?
I think you definitely bring back, if everyone is expendable, then you bring back, obviously Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford.
Yes.
Again, definite, right?
Yep.
I think you also bring back Robert Williams.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Right?
100%. That's your foundation, your core.
That's my foundation. I think everyone else, including Marcus Smart.
Oh, Marcus Smart. Jeff, sorry, man. He just tomahawked. Yeah, so I agree. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Robert Williams, and I'm actually kind of partial in saying I wouldn't have said at the beginning of the year, but off the bench, I would sign Grant Williams for the mid-level exception. Would you trade Jaylen Brown for Bradley Beal?
Yes.
Agree 100%. Sorry, Jalen. But Bradley
I can't
Beal
believe you did that, man.
Bradley Beal does not turn the ball over.
Oh my God.
He does not turn the ball over like you, Jaylen Brown, and he puts the ball in the bucket, both from 3, from mid range, and he can drive. Give me Bradley Beal every day and twice on Sunday.
Next.
Would you trade Anthony Davis for Robert Williams and Al Horford?
Absolutely. If I'm the Lakers.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Now, I'm a Celtics fan. Would I trade Anthony Davis for Robert Williams and Al Horford? You have got to be out of your mind to think that I wouldn't do that. I would do that in a hot second. As much as injured as Anthony Davis is,
really,
he is
Anthony Street Clothes Davis.
Anthony Street Clothes Davis. That boy is bad. Prospects for the Warriors going forward. Are they going to return to their glory? Will they be a championship team? Are they? They're a championship team now. Are they one next year?
Yes.
Are we getting a rematch, Celtics and Warriors next year?
Absolutely. So to me, when I say prospects, I'm not talking about will they win the finals next year. Will they get to the finals next year? Absolutely. I'm willing to book that.
Okay. All right. So, now we're going to switch. That was Armchair GM, our lightning round Armchair GM. Now it's time to go into a segment we like to call Jeff.
Out of bounds, baby. Out of bounds. So let's
Out of bounds sports
start
takes
with the intro. Is Steph Curry, what is his place in the Pantheon? Is Steph Curry top 15?
No.
All time. Top
No.
15 all time.
No.
And that's that take right there is out of bounds. He's obviously top 15.
He's top 20. He's not top 15.
He is obviously top.
He has to get past
15.
people like Michael Jordan, Bill Russell.
No, past Michael Jordan, no. But
I'm just saying,
of all,
top 15.
Okay, first
he
of
has
all,
to be-
let
he has
me
to be-
see.
no,
No,
hold on,
you
hold on.
didn't mess up.
Hold on, no.
First of all,
I don't mean
Jordan
past.
is at the
I don't
top
mean
of the
I don't
all-time
mean
list.
past Michael Jordan in that sense. What I mean is he has to get into the top 15 with the likes of people like Michael Jordan, LeBron James.
He's there.
Michael Jordan, LeBron James. Magic Johnson.
Yep, keep going.
With
You only named
Oscar
3
Robinson,
people.
Bill Russell.
So see, that's where we stop, right?
Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain.
Steph Curry was a better player,
Kareem,
better than Oscar Robinson.
not than Kareem.
Better than Oscar Robinson.
Is he better than Kareem?
I didn't say Kareem. You're
Okay.
the one putting forth.
I did.
the list.
Okay,
So definitely, Oscar Robinson's out on that list.
I'm just saying.
Sorry.
I just put it up there.
Okay, keep going.
Kareem,
Yeah, keep going.
Larry Bird. Is he better than Larry Bird?
Yes. Keep going.
His defense is nowhere near as good as Larry Bird's. But anyways,
Actually, it is. That's where you're wrong.
let's go. Show me the
And
reference.
he's a better shooter than Larry Bird.
I didn't say he wasn't. To me, he's the best shooter that's played.
Ever lived.
Yes. However, Larry Bird's defense is better than Steph Curry's, in my opinion.
Nope. No.
Yeah.
I need some numbers on that. You have to prove that wrong.
Well, we're gonna have to do that one in another day.
All right, so we're gonna move on from that. But again, the question was,
so we're not that far off.
15.
My thing is, I put him in the top 20, closer to 15, like maybe like 16, 17. You put him in what? Top 10?
I put him. I think he's 11 or 10.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
All right.
So
again, to me, top 15. Again, this is ridiculous. All right. So here's the other one. Now this is yours.
Did
You have to bring
Jalen?
this up.
Did Draymond Green? I forget that Dave Chappelle joke about Draymond Green, but did Draymond Green? Did he disrespect the Celtics when he wore this shirt?
All right,
I'm going to show you the
let's pull it
shirt
up.
right now. So this is a shirt that Draymond Green wore.
See, now what does it say though?
It says it's all about 18. So somehow
No. In the box.
But hold on. Let's just go back. Somehow he got his hands on this shirt. I don't know where he got it from.
Wait,
because
are you saying he didn't buy it?
This was the Celtics mantra. It's all about 18. So he got his hands on that.
All right.
And then, hold up 1 second.
I think this is the free shirt that they were handing out because it says Putnam Investments at the bottom.
Yeah. Obviously it was. So he got his hands on it.
There we go.
Well, wait. What does it say?
What does that say?
It says, nope, maybe in 23.
Oh, that's.
It says Warriors.
Wait, nope. Maybe in. It looks like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I can't tell what the 2, 3
Maybe
is.
in 23.
Because this is technically the 22
Is that
season.
an apostrophe? Okay. All
yeah,
right.
this is
All
the
right,
22 season. So
fine.
I think he means 23. Yeah.
Maybe in 23. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Okay. So here's the thing. I would say no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put the question back up. Put the question back up.
The question is, did Draymond Green disrespect the Celtics with this shirt?
Yeah.
Nope. He's just speaking facts.
Yeah. He's speaking facts. Because here's the thing. Like, to me, it would have been disrespectful if it didn't say the maybe in 23.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
So I mean, because he's speaking facts. They do have. They are looking for 18. They do have 17.
Right.
Right. So like that's not that's not disputed. The Warriors did win, so that's not disputed either. And he said maybe in 23. That's
Okay.
What are they? Oh, I think you should mention this. What were the odds for next year?
I don't know.
The opening Caesar book odds for the NBA.
I haven't know. Do you have it? Do you have that number?
Yes. So
you have it pulled up? But you can't ask the question without having it pulled up, aren't you? You're supposed to be like a lawyer. You know the answer to the question when you ask it.
Oh.
But I can probably guarantee you the odds are pretty good that the Celtics are pretty good for the Celtics and Warriors to be back in the finals.
All right.
Especially
I already got it. They're
okay.
Oh no. All right, 2023.
You just said you had it, man.
Yeah. So it's the Warriors.
Okay.
This right behind. So the odds for the Warriors plus 562, the Celtics plus 612. So again.
So Celtics and Warriors are projected to go back into the finals.
So it's not wrong to say maybe for the Celtics in 2023.
Yeah, it's factually correct.
It's one of the best ones to say.
Right.
All right. So I think that rolls us through that.
Yeah. So I have pulled up some serious stuff from the web.
Okay.
From crying Jordan memes to the cash me outside girl, the internet is going to turn your worst moments into infamy. Let's take a look at recent sports memes that are trending on social.
Sit down and shut up. It's time for Meme of Me.
Okay.
It's time for what we call...
Right. So what are our reactions to all these
Meme of
memes?
Mia. So I'm going to show you some of these memes that have made their way from the web to our eyes. Here's the first one. It's kind of messed up. So this is a text from Kobe Bryant to the Celtics. Rip Kobe Bryant.
So
it's a crying Jordan on the Celtics logo, spinning an L for basketball.
So here's the thing. So this is obviously not Kobe Bryant. So it's what his team, like his wife /
The reason why
board?
This text came up is because Jaylen Brown posted text from Kobe. And one of the texts said, I got you today. So someone went through and edited the text from Kobe to add the L from the Celtics with the crying Jordan meme.
I got you.
So that's the backstory.
There we go. Now I understand.
On this meme. All right, here's the next one.
All right.
So this is Kevin Hart, obviously.
Now I love this.
Celtics fan be like, first half.
In the first half, the Celtics look good. Especially the first quarter.
Well, I can't tell you how many times I said to myself in the first half, look, the Celtics are just a better team.
Yeah.
And then in the second half,
it was very
happened?
much.
All right, here's our next meme
Here we go.
right here.
I like this one too.
Finish him. A throwback to the old sports Tekken game when it comes to that.
Now, here's another question.
Yep.
The tennis shoe, I mean not tennis shoe, the sneakers that Jason Tatum's wearing, are those tributes to Kobe?
He was wearing a lot of Kobe stuff. I can't remember exactly though.
Okay.
So,
Now this is a good follow up to the other one, the other meme.
Yeah. So basically, it's Golden State. That's basically how it proved to be.
Yeah. First half, second half.
All right. And so here's the next meme.
You got one
coming
more
at you. We got a couple more.
All right.
This one is a little disrespectful. Extremely frustrating to watch. Sad excuse for a team. NBA Finals Celtics.
So okay. You know what? I do think this is disrespectful, but I think this is typical of Boston media. So
yes,
if you listen to a Boston sports show about the Celtics, you're thinking that the Celtics are doing terrible, and then all of a sudden they're in the finals because that's how bad they talk about them. Yeah. I mean, like sometimes I think I'm more positive about the Celtics than Boston sports media is.
That might be actually true. So, that's pretty much true.
Now, I love this meme because this typifies to me Steph Curry's personality. This dude will laugh with joy in your face while he's, you know what I'm saying? Like his form of trash talk is joy in basketball.
Oh, like, shoot. I just got video of something. You know what it is? It's Marcus Smart after the game.
What's wrong with you, bro? What the heck? You tripping, bro? You tripping?
That was definitely Marcus Smart.
I don't know if he's gonna punch. I don't know if he's gonna punch something or what, but that was Marcus Smart. All right, I got.
What's wrong with you, bro? What the heck? You tripping, bro? You tripping?
Going crazy. All right. So the last meme I got is a video meme right here.
Do you like apples?
Yeah.
How do you like them apples?
It's messed up, man. We're hurting over here.
It's rough. But again, the outlook in the future is bright.
Yes. Well, we thank you all for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed it.
Appreciate it. And you know what? Here's the thing. It's just a final comment.
Yep.
I truly believe, and I truly hope that next year, me and Micah will be attending a Celtics games in the finals against the Warriors.
We'll have some live footage. That would be nice. That would be nice. But listen,
thank you, listeners.
Thank you all for tuning in today. We appreciate you actually spending some time with us. And don't forget to do the YouTube things. Like the video, subscribe it, share it with anyone that you know. Our goal is to build this channel up. We don't want to have mainstream media to have a monopoly on sports takes because we have plenty of good ones. So make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel. All right. Thank you all for tuning to the broadcast today. We appreciate it. Geoff from the West, Micah from the East. We'll see y'all later.
Peace out.